Here's my daily insight for the day, and I want to challenge you guys here that your biggest fear is not death, it's eternity of lasting forever and ever and ever, and there's no end at all. I think that would be the biggest fear, and I think we associate death with eternity in some way, if you think about it, whether it's eternal exhaustion, annihilation, nothingness, or if it's eternal existence, an afterlife, or whatever. And I want to just say that I think that eternity is probably the most scariest thing, because if we think about it, you've done something, a task, and you've done it over and over and over and over and over again, and you've gotten bored out of your mind from it, right? You can just sit in a room and then get completely bored. And that's kind of what meditation teaches you to do, is how to manage that. But imagine that you are living for eternity. That means that you have all the time in the world to achieve every goal you've wanted to achieve. You can do everything you've always wanted to do. But then your soul still feels so empty because you've done everything. You are eternal. You've done everything. You've climbed every mountain. You've walked every stream. You've followed every rainbow, and you found your dream. And The Good Place, that's a wonderful series on Netflix, and I was watching that, and that's kind of what inspired this idea here that I'm giving you, is that they were in the good place, right? And they achieved everything that they wanted to achieve. They were in the afterlife. They were in the perfect place. And then their soul longed for its own self-destruction. It reached a certain quietude to where, I'm done. It was amazing how they did that. It was like, I'm done. I'm ready to return back to the infinite mystery. Because after you discover like what the universe is, your role in the universe, what else is there to do? Eternity, I feel like, robs life of meaning. And I think that's what we're really scared of, is having our lives be robbed of meaning. You living forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Where is the meaning in that? Whereas if you're finite, you have so much time, it gives your life more meaning, more value, because a lot of things that in life are the most valuable are the most finite. If you think about it, the most finite. Relationships, they don't last forever. Solar eclipses don't last forever. Birthdays don't last forever. A lot of stuff. Nothing really lasts forever, except I guess for change and all that stuff. But these are just some of my ideas here that I'm throwing out here, is that I think that the worst thing, we imagine hell as the worst thing, but I think probably the most terrifying thing is being in an afterlife to where we're in a peaceful, perfect place, but we're not able to be satisfied with it because we become so used to it. We become so acclimated to it. Just think about how when you're a kid, you were born in this world and you're like, whoa, amazing, look at that dog down the street. You're so curious, you're questioning everything. But then as we get older, we start to get acclimated to it. We start looking at telephone lines as we're driving down the cars, and we don't even pay any attention to them. But as a kid, I'd be like, wow, birds are sitting on top of that thing. How is that possible? I'd be like, how is it possible for us to have our telephone lines and all this stuff working from these cables? It's just amazing. And so I feel like that if we lived forever and ever and ever again, we would lose our curiosity. We would lose our wonder. It would just lose all meaning. And I feel like that death is what gives our life meaning. And I think reincarnation, I personally think that that could be true, because I feel like that when we die, we go back to the infinite mystery from which we were born. You know, we were born from death, if you think about it, from the infinite mystery. And then when we die, I think that we're just going to go back. And then what's to say we're not going to be born anew as some other being and have a new shot at life? I feel like that the universe is playing this game of eternal self-awareness, that the point of the universe is to experience and know itself. And I feel like there's a certain point to which your mission as a spirit and soul is done. And I think that's what the good place is trying to show us, is that you enjoy life, live it to the fullest, and then eventually your soul reaches a quietude in it to where you're like, I'm done. I'm ready to go back and play the game again. I'm ready to play it as a different being. I'm ready to play it from a different character, because it's just like a play, right? A play, because if you play one character for the whole, for all of the plays that you've ever done, it's going to be boring. And so I feel like that it's important that you write other books, do other plays, so that way you experience more of the mystery, because your understanding becomes so limited when you're only existing as one creature forever and ever and ever, locked in. So I feel like that's kind of the point of death, is for us to go back to the origin point from which we were born, and then be born anew as something else, and then experience life from that. I don't know. You can let me know what you think, whether I'm full of crap or not, but that's just my thoughts on that. It's just amazing to think about. You have a wonderful, blessed day.